Hello students, we will discuss preoperative evaluation of mitral stenosis. The mitral stenosis is less common than aortic stenosis. It is associated with history of rheumatic disease. It occurs with acute valvular disease or aortic valvular disease or mitral regurgitation. A normal mitral valve has an area of 4 to 6 centimeters square. Stenosis is categorized as mild, moderate, severe. A mild, a mild mitral stenosis, their valve area is 1.5 to 2.5 centimeters square. During moderate, the mitral area, valve area is between 1.1 to 1.5 centimeters square. And in critical mitral stenosis, the area is 0.6 to 1 centimeter square. A resting mean transvalvular gradient greater than 10 mm of mercury denotes the severe stenosis. The symptoms of typically occurs after 10 to 20 years after rheumatic fever, and it is often precipitated by pregnancy or illness. The unrecognized mitral stenosis is included in differential diagnosis of pulmonary edema. Now, in preoperative evaluation of mitral stenosis, in the history, we should look for the dyspnea, fatigue, orthopnea, pulmonary edema, and hemoptysis. These findings result from elevated left atrial pressure and decreased cardiac output. Then we should look for atrial fibrillation. It is due to dilated left atrium, which can acutely predict with failure, or if atrial fibrillation chronic, it may cause thrombosis. The patient with atrial fibrillation require anticoagulation to avoid left atrial thrombus. We should look for the tachycardia. The tachycardia decreases cardiac output. Then we should look for the pulmonary hypertension. The pulmonary hypertension and right heart failure may occur with significant stenosis. A loud S2 suggests pulmonary hypertension. Then we should look for the murmur. The murmur is located at apex. The timing is mid systolic. There is opening snap. It is low pitched rumbling and it radiates to axilla. This is the description of the murmur which is present. Then there is a increase the characteristic of murmur. This murmur increases after sustained hand grip exercise, because the sustained hand grip exercise increases heart rate, blood pressure, and it may increase the murmur. Now, on systemic examination, we look for the RELS and signs of right heart failure. These signs are increased jugular venous distension, peripheral edema, then hepatomegaly, right ventricular heave, and ascites. The preoperatively ECG is must necessary, and we should do echocardiogram and chest radiography should be considered. In drug treatment, patient may receive beta blockers. These beta blockers are used to control the heart rate. Then patient may receive antiarrhythmic. The antiarrhythmics are given to prevent or control the atrial fibrillation. These medications have to be continued preoperatively because heart rate needs to be controlled before surgery. Then if anticoagulation is managed in conjunction with treating cardiologist or surgeon. The prophylaxis for infective endocarditis is no longer recommended. Thank you.